question is about Krishna's teachings about love.
About love.
When he was younger, did he have teachings when he was younger about love?
Okay. That's a topic that everybody wants to hear about. Now, funnily enough, we don't know each other, do we?
Well, next.
No, I'm joking. You know how they do this in the audience? They say, look, we didn't arrange this, right?
You can pay me later.
I'd already paid you. No, what I'm saying is that I had a couple of ideas this afternoon on what we could talk about. Now, funnily enough, one of them was love. And I got a couple of quotes that I'd already taken out of the Bhagavad Gita as well. So it's kind of not exactly what you're saying, but it's connected to what you're speaking about. So we'll speak a little bit about love and meditation and yoga and what they have to do with each other. Is that okay? All right. So first of all, let me pay my respects and gratitude to my dear spiritual master, Jagat Guru, Siddhashvipananda Paramahamsa, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda, and to Sri Krishna. Nama Om Vishnupadaya, Krishna Prestaya Bhutale, Srimati Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namini, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadha, Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So let me find. It's just it won't take me long. There is there it is. So, as you are all probably aware, this is the Australian School of Meditation and Yoga. Now, in reality, even if we were just called the Australian School of Meditation or the Australian School of Yoga, it's meaning the same thing. We didn't really need to have those two words there because yoga and meditation are synonymous. They are not two different things. It isn't like I'll go and do some yoga and then I will go and do some meditation, as if they are different things. That's kind of how it's become known here in the Western world, and also in much of India now, because of the influence of Western culture. Yoga, we always think of someone, doing some form of exercise, isn't it? If I was to say to you the word yoga, then immediately, if I say, bring an image into your mind of someone doing yoga, what would it be? Would it be someone sitting, maybe doing some kind of balance pose or something similar to that, right? Maybe standing on their head, maybe doing, a twist. Yeah? Is that not the image? If you do a Google search for as long as we have it left in our life, we may not have Google for very much longer. Anyway, if you do a Google search for yoga and you go to images, you do an image search, I will guarantee you that 99.99% of the images which come up will be of someone doing some kind of physical posture. Yeah? And if you think of meditation, usually it's also maybe someone's, usually got their eyes closed. They may be seated, something like that. Usually eyes closed is part of meditation, right? But when we understand actually what the definition of meditation is and what the definition of yoga is, or shall we say the perfection, because those asanas or asanas, they are part of the whole yoga system, yes, that is known as hatha yoga. So it is part of the yoga system. But those physical postures are not the perfection of yoga. In other words, to learn to do a perfect balanced headstand is not, you have now perfected yoga. No, this is actually not the case. So we're here, I'm speaking about what is the ultimate goal and the ultimate perfection of yoga. They are the same thing. The perfection of yoga and the ultimate end goal and purpose of yoga and the end goal and purpose of meditation are exactly the same. Exactly the same. So there is a nice quote from Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. This is in chapter 7, verse 1 from the Bhagavad Gita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, said, "Now hear, O Arjuna, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with your mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt." So just listen to that again. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, said, "Now hear, O Arjuna, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with your mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt." So this is the perfection of yoga, is to be in consciousness, awareness of the Supreme Soul. This is the perfection of yoga. So of course the word yoga meaning connection, union, to link, to connect. In fact, the word yoga also means relationship. This is what the word yoga means, relationship. So yoga, meditation, means the connecting up, the relationship between each one of us, the Jiva Atma. We are spirit soul, temporarily walking around in these varieties of funny-looking bits of meat. Do you know this carcass is not you? Were you aware of that? This, when we, the Atma, leave this body behind, it is seen for exactly what it is. It is actually a carcass. Has anyone ever been around roadkill? Or when I was younger, I worked in a slaughterhouse, so I know what a carcass is. It's something if you ever walk into a room, and even if it's someone, your loved one, and they've died, 5 or 6 days ago, you experience really immediately how this is not attractive. Previously there might be someone who you thought was very pretty or handsome or cute or, whatever it may have been. But a few hours after the person, the Atma, the Jiva Atma has left, that is no longer cute. Is that understandable? It's not cute. In fact, it's something you want to get away from. This is because the living being whom you were actually trying to love has left. So to love and to be loved is the nature of the soul. It is the nature of each one of us. The essence of our very being is love. Not just love as some kind of vague sentiment, but the experience of loving and being loved. Because love is an experience, isn't it? Love is a relationship. Love is more than just a feeling, a sentiment which comes and goes. It's more than just, how people talk about, there's just some chemistry between us. You ever heard that idea? There's a real chemistry between us. Or, if, further down the track things aren't going well, the person might say, that the chemistry, we've lost the chemistry. Has anyone heard of that? Have you said that? Has someone said it to you? So right there is the very materialistic, false idea of what love is. Love is certain hormones, pumping through the brain. That's what they think love is. That's why it's chemistry. It's some kind of physical hormone or something like that. No, this is actually not true. This is not correct. It is inseparable from each one of us. The eternal Atma, the eternal spirit soul, who is part and parcel of the Supreme Soul. So our whole journey through life is actually a journey to find love. That is the goal of life. The goal of life is to find perfect, unconditional love. From when we are first born, in other words, when we first enter into these bodies, until the day that we leave this body behind through old age or disease or some accident or something like that, every single moment of every single day, there is a desire, a search for, a hope for, a longing for a loving relationship. Now, there are various kinds of loving relationship. Friend, intimate friend, significant other, parents, children, right? There's all different types of love and relationships which we are desiring, we are searching out, which we all have to varying degrees. That is springing from you, the Atma, the part and parcel of the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Atma. It has nothing to do with the kind of body you may be in, male, female, Chinese, American, African, black, white, young, old. Has nothing to do with at all in any kind of way with the type of body which we are walking around in. It is directly connected to me, the Atma, who is in this body. That's easy to understand, isn't it? The loving, living, willing being is me, the Atma, the spirit soul. And when I, the loving, living being, leave this body, what is left there is no longer attractive. There is no love left there. The corpse does not exhibit love, right? And it's very difficult for us to love a corpse. So this is the first thing to understand, that we are the Atma, and the basic principle of the living entity is that we have a propensity to love. So the question is, where is that perfect love to be found? And our whole life is a search to answer that question and to satisfy that desire. So it is natural to love. It is not unnatural. It is part of me. So there's a couple of things here that I wanted to connect up with, to read also. This is really nice. This shows how natural it is. There is a great saintly personality known as Rupa Goswami. He was a disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he appeared in our disciplic line 500 years ago in India, and he wrote many, many amazing, amazing spiritual texts, one of which the most amazing is called the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which translated into English means the nectar of devotion. And one part that I picked out to possibly read tonight is from this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, where Srila Rupa Goswami is saying, so he's speaking to Krishna, the Supreme Soul. He says, "My dear Lord, as a young man awakens his attachment..." Oh, sorry, where is it? Here we go. This is not exactly a direct quote. This is Bhaktivedanta Swami paraphrasing. "My dear Lord, as a young man awakens his attachment immediately upon seeing a young girl, or as a young girl becomes attracted as soon as she sees a young boy, let me become attracted to you." So I'll read that again. "My dear Lord, as a young man awakens his attachment immediately upon seeing a young girl, or as a young girl becomes naturally attracted as soon as she sees a young boy, let me become attached to you." End of quote. This kind of attachment is natural. And if you notice, none of us had to go to university to study how to become attracted to someone else. Did anyone here have to go to university with, love? You took love as a major, No, it's naturally there. So simply by seeing a young girl, a young boy thinks, "Oh, she's nice, she's pretty, she's cute," and the opposite happens as well. It is naturally there within us to become attracted to someone else. So Srila Rupa Goswami then goes on to pray. So in that same way as the boy is attracted to the girl, or the girl is attracted to the boy, he's praying to Krishna. In that same natural way, please let my love for you awaken in such a natural, spontaneous way that when I think of you, when I see you, when I chant your holy name, let me also become spontaneously and naturally attracted to you. in that same natural way. There's another nice example given in the yogic text. In the same way as it is natural for a river to flow from the top of the mountain down to the sea, similarly, our love, when it is awakened for the Supreme, for Krishna, will naturally flow to Krishna. And if you notice, this example of a river is a very good one, because the river is naturally seeking to go down to the ocean, right, to the sea. Sometimes it may come across some big mountain or some rocks or a whole bunch of trees or something like that. But what does the river do? Does it just stop there? It finds some way around the obstacle to keep going and to continue down to the ocean, to the sea, right? No matter what it is, it'll overcome a huge mountain somehow. It'll go around it, or it'll find some way through it or underneath it. So it is a very natural flowing thing. So this love that is there within us, its natural place, the perfect person for that love to flow naturally to is Krishna. So when we say Krishna, we mean the Supreme Soul, the original cause. The name Krishna means the all-beautiful. This is why we like to chant this Maha Mantra, this name Krishna, so much. Because this name for the Supreme, Krishna, actually is the most beautiful name. There is no more beautiful name than Krishna. Because this name Krishna refers to all of the beauty, unlimited beauty, and the most beautiful thing is love, unconditional love, is the most beautiful thing. It attracts everyone. Love even attracted such personalities as Hitler, right? Hitler did some nasty stuff, as we know. But because he also, within that Hitler body and mind, is spirit soul, is Jiva Atma, part and parcel of the Supreme Soul, who has now lost his way big time, yes, but who actually ultimately is also searching for love. So even personalities like him would get a dog. He used to have German Alsatian dogs who he would pet and cuddle and love. And he, had his wife, etc. So this natural propensity to love is there even in the so-called worst human being. So spiritual life, yoga, meditation, means to uncover that river of love, which is already sitting there within your heart. So Krishna is the all love. One of the spiritual teachers in our line of teachers, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he translated many of the yoga texts into English, and he gave many, many discourses. This is back in the 1920s and 30s, that kind of time in India. And I've read a number of his books. And the ones which are in English, when he would refer to Krishna or God, the Supreme Soul, he would many times use the term the all love. The all love. That is Krishna, the all love. So everything to do with Krishna. Krishna's form, his eternal spiritual form, Krishna's transcendental holy name. For instance, in these names, Krishna, Gopala, Govinda, that we are chanting, meditating on, these contain within them that all love. So we will find the all love that we are looking for in these transcendental holy names of Krishna, of the Supreme Soul. So in another amazing spiritual text, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is said by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of all living beings. Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of all living beings. It is not something to be gained from another source. When one purifies his heart by hearing and chanting about Krishna, that love naturally awakens. This is the whole of this practice of kirtan. This is the ultimate goal and perfection of meditation, of yoga, of kirtan, and what we are doing here this evening. This is the end result. This is the outcome of what we are doing here tonight. So I'll read the whole thing through. Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of all living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When one purifies his heart by hearing and chanting about Krishna, that pure love naturally awakens. This is, be careful, because if you don't want this, you shouldn't come here. This will be the ultimate outcome of your doing kirtan here. And if you don't want love, if you're trying to avoid love, then be careful. This will ruin your life. You know, sometimes people, not sometimes, regularly, people come up. Maybe they've been coming a few times, or maybe even the first time they come. And they may come up afterwards and say, you know, thank you, that was just such a nice evening. But I have a question. Why did I start crying when I was doing the chanting? Why did it overwhelm me and overcome me and I begin to cry? There's a reason. It's because we have been wandering through these worlds for so long. Literally, we cannot trace back how long we have been wandering through this material world. We have forgotten not only who we are, we have forgotten the Supreme Friend. We have forgotten Krishna. And we are actually, we may not know it, but we are looking for Krishna. That is, everywhere we go, everything we do, every activity we engage in, every bar of chocolate that we buy. We may not know it, but it is actually Krishna that we are looking for. So next time you buy that block of chocolate, next time you buy that new something or other, just let this thing I said be there in your consciousness. Actually, this will not satisfy me. I'm actually looking for Krishna, but I'll take this anyway. I'll have Krishna plus the chocolate. I'll have Krishna plus the new shoes, plus the new car, or whatever it might be. But always be aware, it is actually Krishna who we are looking for, every single one of us. So, coming to hear Krishna's names again is like a wayfarer who has been lost for years upon years upon years and finally stumbles upon their home, their relatives, their beloved. So this is why sometimes we feel when we hear these beautiful names that it touches us deep within our very core of our very being, because we are part of Krishna. We need Krishna. We need the supreme, lovable, all love. And Krishna, the all love, is to be found in his beautiful names. So let us always chant these beautiful names of Krishna. Let us never forget these names of Krishna. Whether we are going through tough times in our life, which we all do, and we all will, or whether things are going relatively okay for a short time, let us always remember these beautiful names of Krishna. And we can always feel at home, at peace, and that love will continue to flow. Thank you very much. So thank you for your question.